The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Second down now after the incompletion. They'll look to throw here. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Such a solid defensive effort a week ago, and they'll be looking to carry that forward into this one.
And confidence grows. Every time you have a great performance, you think the next one's going to be even better. That's where this defense is today.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. They'll drop to throw. And he's got Miller. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Back to throw here. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The Texans send the punter out. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3". Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
Isaiah Crowell's a talented running back, and I would use him like a boxer that's controlling the ring. Come at him with different angles, meaning let him run the ball inside, let him run to the perimeter, get him out in space and throw the football to him. The more touches he has in a game, the better his effect on the overall outcome.
He'll drop to throw, and it's incomplete. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He finds Coates complete. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment. But here, he's one that has to absorb the contact. And as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. And now running right through it. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They're going to look to throw. On the right side, this is Miller. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here we go. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
A first update now out of Jacksonville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And some room to maneuver. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. 23 yards on the play. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. They'll set up to throw. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll set up a throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Night.
And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
2nd down following the run. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Back to throw. And he's got it. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So that one will be accepted. And this seemingly endless drive continues. Now a handoff looking right. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
The Texans on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. They're never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And before we can get to the field goal try, time will run out on this first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And this one is right through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So they get the field goal, but part of that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally, when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't, but really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Throw left side complete. That's Townsend. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
Now that play will end up on the highlights and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. They run a draw here on 2nd down. Space to run past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
scoring summary. 3-play drive. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. Uses the stiff arm. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting off field and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they held them to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at them. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. They find some open field here. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And this one through the uprights and good. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And a long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard, because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
Looking left side, and it's complete. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll look to throw now on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Townsend. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
3-19!
Gonna give this time to the tailback. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives, so a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator is a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They've got a nice rhythm they're locked into. How can the defensive guys come up with something that'll disrupt that flow? That's what they're seeking right now.
Well, it's been an exciting sequence to watch. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And Miller with it over the middle. And he gets it down to the 32. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
Gun. They'll look to throw. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Let's go. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
An NFL update, 2nd quarter now in Jacksonville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
Yeah, because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Looking to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's brought down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Townsend. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Here we go.
Now back to throw. Brought in by Coates. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Sammy Coates, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
Gonzalez now to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. Five plays there on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily when you've set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it?
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back. I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off, if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
They'll look to throw here. And that will be incomplete as well. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
No, I'm thinking about the mental focus. You know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Five yards left for the offense. It's 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Townsend. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Fresh set of downs here.
I got two. Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll drop to throw. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Gordon. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore. Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone.
Hurry up, here we go. 2-90.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Gonzalez to add the PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, we'll see if I can get through this without being skipped as we welcome you to our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Browns are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Texans won't panic either. They know they just need to take it 1 play at a time. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now to early in the second. Boyd's got a running lane here, and a quick 3-play drive ends with the score. Now early in the second quarter, Stanford's going to look for a gap, and this 2-play drive goes for a TD. They go ahead by a field goal. Browns have the football midway through the second. Boyd's able to get clear of everybody, and he ends up rushing in for a second touchdown. Browns take it at the 34. Browns go up by 4. Coates is able to get open here, and this play will go for 6. The Browns push their lead to 11. Browns lined up at the 15. The catch is made after a quick pass, and after the short pass, he'll score. That takes the lead up to 18. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. A nice first half that we've had guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a few little style points on the juke, but not much room to maneuver after that. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Back to throw here. He's got his man, Boyd. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Now let's go. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be caught along the sideline. Nicely done, but right at the line of scrimmage. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
On play action, they'll throw. And down he'll go at the 25. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5.
Green 39. Green 39.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Fleming. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Play clock winding down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A pickup of 5 that time and a 1st down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And he's brought down. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
Well, something got lost in translation in this game. He's run the ball really well, done all the things that you want in a game plan, but unable to convert it into points, unable to ring the bell consistently enough to make it a winning effort.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. They'll look to throw again. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Point after try forthcoming. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Out of the gun now on third down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. And they're on third and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handing it to the fullback, right? As we evolved, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it, trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. But we'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Looking deep downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And shedding through the tackle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. So the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fleming. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Jackson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Second down now after the pass completion.
Hey, tight end's right. One tight end. All right, here we go. 319. 319.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
The football. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And he'll give it here to his running back. And down inside the 15 he goes. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
They'll set up a throw. And it's caught. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. A great effort there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Browns add on to their lead. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification. That's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. But you say 3 rushing touchdowns and, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So what, again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jackson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Throw left side complete. It's Fleming. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Texans cut into that lead.
Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his 2nd touchdown of the game. But right now, his team is trailing. Fortunately, he's playing pretty well and trying to keep them in it.
Yeah, they might need a little more from him here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to call his number. Right now, he needs his defense to step up and give him a chance.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there.
Here we go now. Green 39.
And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we can spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
Fresh set of downs here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On first down. He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Jackson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So this brings up a 2nd and 2. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jackson. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Right side caught by Jackson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 33, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Browns on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Dances by him. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And his throw is incomplete. But tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. And he comes back with one complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. And did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving. Well, not the position they want to be in. Still a very, very small chance here, but they almost need a miracle.
Agreed. That means they've got to get it to the sidelines, get out of bounds, and preserve clock.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he rifles one incomplete.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. And he'll get up and spike it with 11 seconds remaining. Safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Cleveland, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Houston, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound as we say so long from Cleveland.